Tonight at 5 with breaking news from the Walmart Distribution Center in Plainfield.
This is video from Drone Cam 13 from the west side. You can see this huge plume of black smoke over that distribution center and big flames of fire still shooting into the air. This was visible for miles. You could see the smoke everywhere in Hendricks County and across a lot of spots across central Indiana. Now, Channel 13 was the very first station to bring you this breaking news live on air and online. And since our crews got to the scene earlier today, we've learned that all the workers, about 1,000 of them, are safe.
However, this fire is expected to keep burning for a while. We've got live team coverage for you tonight. Lauren Kostick's been checking out the neighborhoods around the fire where they've reported seeing flying debris. But we begin with Jenny Runovich. She's been near the distribution center all afternoon and joins us live with what's going on there now. Jenny, please fill us in.
Yeah, Felicia, and I want to let you know that police and firefighters are giving us a live update right now, so let's listen in.
We're going to give a brief update. It's 5 p.m. on the events that have occurred today. Give a little bit of information that I have, and I'm going to turn it over to Chief Anderson to provide a little bit of update on the operation, and then we'll take a few questions. Employees' welfare, the last couple of hours has really been the big priority, and getting interviews done with those employees to see what they know. A Reunification Center has been established at 1750 Smith Road. That is an Amazon facility that is fairly new. They have a lot of space there for us to reunify families. So families wanting to reunify with employees of Walmart need to go to that location, and they can accept you there. Additionally, the property behind me, the Walmart facilities, both of the facilities behind me are completely off limits to the public. That means that any employees that were working at the facility at the time can't retrieve their vehicles right now, and nor can they retrieve their property until the scene is released. Once that scene is released, we will put out information that employees can come back and get their belongings. But this is still a very active scene, so it will be quite some time before that can happen. And then now I'm going to turn it over to Chief Anderson. He can give you a little bit of an update. It's been an hour and a half since our last update, and he can give you the information on what's going on with the scene behind me.
Not a whole lot's changed since our 3:30 update. Two things I would like to pass along is still encourage all residents that may be in or near the plume, just shelter in place. Don't touch any debris that may be in your yard. Indiana Environmental IDEM is here now. IDEM is here now. EPA is getting involved. They'll do all that testing, and they'll give us those results, and we'll communicate those as quickly as we can to let everybody know what's safe and what's not safe. Also, water. We've slowed down our consumption of water here. We've brought in additional resources. We have tankers on the scene now that are trucking in water. Plainfield Water is in a good spot, still able to provide the community with the water they need after we maxed out their system earlier. But this is going to be a long-going operation, well into the evening. We still have all the major players here and team partners that are going to assist us with this investigation. ATF is going to be the lead agency on the investigation. And it'll take days, if not weeks, to come up with a cause. But right now, everybody's safe. We have had one minor firefighter injury since the 3:30 update. They were treated and released back to the scene here, and they're back operating. But for now, I don't have any real new information outside of that. And I'd welcome in a few questions.
Yeah, were you able to learn anything from any of the interviews with the employees?
We have not. The ATF and our fire marshal are doing those now, and I've had no contact with them since the last time. But they're working on that. And I know it's going to take quite a process to release the associates back to their families after this interview.
Do you know how large this facility is?
This facility is almost 1.2 million square feet.
Okay.
Chief, why is it important for people to keep in mind that there's so many things that can be contained in here that potentially lead to that debris being toxic and not knowing that whether it could be right now at this point?
Right, it's the unknown, and we're going to err on the side of caution for now. We'll treat everything as if it's hazardous. We'll do the appropriate testing and stuff, and then we'll communicate that with the public as soon as it's safely to do so.
So what's your message
to structure? Sorry about that. Talk about the structure a little bit and how it plays a role in helping this not spread.
Yeah, this facility, like I said, is 1.2 million square feet. It does have firewalls and a fire suppression system everything was working appropriately, but it has such a heavy fire load that it overtook our crews and our ability to extinguish that fire safely. And after about a half an hour of being here, we had to evacuate. As I said earlier, we did have a quick mayday situation where some firefighters became disoriented and lost. We quickly rectified that and then went back about our efforts. But it is contained right now. to the square foot or the footprint of the facility, and we'll just continue to work on it here for the next few hours.
Is there any word that it started on the 3rd floor, and how did it spread from there?
I don't have an answer to that at the moment.
Okay, but it started on the 3rd floor still?
We had fire on the 3rd floor, but we have no idea where it may have started.
Is there any word on, what the air quality is at this point? Have you gotten any updates on that? I'm sure people
Absolutely
are wondering.
not. IDIM just arrived within the last 10 minutes, and because I'm here, I haven't had a chance to have a conversation with them, so I have no information.
How are the employees doing?
I do not know. The last time I talked to any of their associates or team members was a couple hours ago. The police department and some other folks are handling reunification.
And that reunification is happening now?
Yes, it's in progress now.
now.
The ATF is doing some interviews with some employees that were on site and in the area of the fire, and once that's done, they'll start releasing everybody. But they want to make sure they talk to everybody they need to before they leave the scene here. Right now, we have no idea what may have started this. No reason to believe it's suspicious or anything, but we'll do our due diligence over the next coming days and weeks to figure that out.
Would you attribute the fact that the employees were able to get it out to the fact that the fire system was working?
Absolutely, yes. That heavy fire load in there. It sounds like there was lots of clothing in the area where the fire started, wrapped in plastic and such. Spread very quickly, but I think with the advanced warning systems and stuff and the accountability systems they have in place, Walmart did a very good job here of evacuating the building and making sure all our people were safe.
I was going to say, what were the successes here? The fact that we don't have any injuries, what contributed to that? And especially when you look at the thing and
Yeah, I think the fire department was here within 3 minutes of the time we were dispatched. Just happened to be, as I said earlier, we were right down the road doing some training. So we were here within 3 minutes. The safety plans that Walmart has in place for their associates and stuff, that obviously worked. Took a little while to get accountability, but you're talking about 1,000 employees, and that's expected. But they had multiple rally points. They met there. We had a pretty good plan of what we were going to do, right? This doesn't happen every day, but we trained for it to happen every day, and we were well prepared. We've got close to 18 probably fire agencies here working now from inside, or all around Henderson County are here working to put this out. We're working as one team. We train together. We communicate together weekly for events such as this. So,
can residents in Plainfield expect there to be any sort of less water pressure or?
Right now, the water system in Plainfield is good, and we've reduced what we're using here. So I do not foresee any water issues here within the town. We've also, as I said, we're using a local pond to get water. We're trucking water in. We're using citizens' water as well as the town of Plainfield's water system. And right now, everybody should notice very little difference in their water pressure in the system.
Do you have enough water, Chief?
Yes, right now we have enough. I'll try to give an update again here within the next hour and a half or so, but for now,
Yeah, so if we have any more developments or any more updates in the next hour or so, I'll make sure I get with each of you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much for your time.
So we were listening to the chief of Plainfield Fire Territory along with the deputy chief of Plainfield Police talking about kind of the successes despite all that we saw today. In fact, if you look at the plume of smoke behind me, you can kind of see it. What a difference from what all of us saw this afternoon. People as far as Westfield seeing that huge plume of smoke along with fire and some explosions inside as tires and items inside exploded. A much different scene now 5 hours later. Again, just to kind of recap some of those main issues, 1,000 employees, all safe. They were inside working here at the time, but they were all able to get out. They say the alert systems all worked. They were able to get out. They were taken to a facility nearby to be questioned this afternoon by the ATF and by the state fire marshal just to kind of figure out what they saw, what they heard. Now those interviews have concluded. They're taking them to an Amazon facility actually in Plainfield where they can kind of be reunited with their loved ones. One small injury to a firefighter, but again, luckily, no major injuries. And it sounds like the water situation that they've been dealing with all afternoon because they'd been fighting the fire for so long, that is getting better. They've been able to truck in some tankers, get some water from the pond, and try and knock this down. But again, one safety caution that the fire chief did mention, if you live in this area, this air is still carrying, especially to the north of the facility. So, still continue to shelter in place if it's nearby. If there's any debris on the ground, they encourage you, please don't touch it. That can be toxic. And as for a cause of this fire, guys, that is still under investigation tonight. My colleague Lauren Kostick has been in the neighborhoods surrounding this Walmart distribution facility, kind of talking to neighbors who watched all of this happen from afar. Lauren?
Yeah, Jenny, it was pretty scary out here, you know, for them to be able to witness this all from the very beginning. And what we've been seeing a lot is traffic. There's a lot of cars coming through, getting rerouted because you can see the road is blocked off. We have a lot of first responders coming through, people coming by to take photos and videos. But I was able to talk to a few neighbors who live right, you know, down the road from this distribution center. And they described it almost like an eclipse or a big thunderstorm rolling through. They said it got very dark very quickly. Some even said they heard explosions and their home shook, and just a very scary situation because they were out here right here and you could see the cloud go over the sun. And, you know, we even spoke to some neighbors just north of here, and they told us they found debris from the fire scattered around their yards.
Big chunks of what I assume is insulation, some as big as this, come down by my head, and so then we start freaking out. We might start getting a fire here, but none of them were red ambers or anything like that.
And again, experts are saying, just like Jenny said, if you do see any of these pieces of debris, don't touch them. They can be very toxic, and health officials will be out here soon to address that issue, help clean it up. And also, as Jenny was saying, if you live in this area just down the road or anything, try to stay inside. They're still monitoring the air condition out here. But overall, just kind of a scary situation to watch this all unfold. Guys, back to you.
Okay, Lauren, thank you so much. And also a good reminder for people to not go out there and try to gawk at the situation either. It's still very, very active. So please just stay away from what's going on there.